Welcome to this explainer on conquering the New York DMV road test scheduling system. We're going to take the guesswork out of what can honestly feel like an absolute maze of paperwork, prerequisites, and, well, confusing online portals. Let's get right into it. So, you've spent hours studying, you passed your written exam, and you finally have that New York learner permit right in your hand. First of all, congratulations. But if you're like most drivers, you're probably starting to realize that mastering parallel parking might actually be easier than navigating the DMV's bureaucracy just to get a test date. I mean, trying to call the DMV, you could be on hold for hours. That makes their online booking system an absolute necessity. Look, the whole process can definitely feel like a daunting final trial, but don't worry. Today, we're breaking down exactly how to secure that appointment step by step and how to perfectly prep for test day.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We'll cover what to do before you book online, the 5 steps to actually schedule, how to overcome booking roadblocks, a guide to your test day prep, and finally, a quick disclaimer on official DMV guidelines.
Starting off with Section 1, before you book online. You absolutely cannot just jump online and pick a date empty-handed, so let's go over the mandatory gear you need first.
You gotta keep these documents safe because without them, the system will literally just reject your booking attempt. First up, you need your valid New York State photo learner permit. Look for the 9-digit client ID on the front because you'll need that exact number. Second, if you're under 18, New York law mandates a strict 6-month waiting period from the day your permit was issued before you can even take the road test. No shortcuts there, you just have to wait it out. Third, and this is a big one, you must complete a state-approved educational course. You're going to need the certificate number from either your MV-788, which is the 5-hour pre-licensing course, or your MV-285, which is the full driver ed certificate. The 5-hour one is valid for 1 year, while the driver ed one lasts for 2. And finally, for you minors out there, you need the MV-262 form. This certifies you've completed 50 hours of supervised practice, including 15 hours of night driving.
Moving right along to Section 2, 5 steps to schedule. Now that your paperwork is ready to go, here is exactly how you use the DMV's road test scheduling system. You'll often hear people call it the RTSS.
There are 5 exact phases you'll navigate to secure your slot. And hey, even if you're totally new to dealing with government websites, this is pretty straightforward when you know what to expect. Phase 1 is gateway access. You'll navigate directly to the official NYSDMV road test scheduling page. Actually, quick warning here. Watch out for third-party sites that try to charge you fees. Always make sure you're using the official ny.gov portal. Phase 2 is identity authentication. You'll be prompted to enter that 9-digit client ID from your permit, along with your birth date. Phase 3 is educational verification. Here, you just punch in the exact certificate number from your 5-hour or driver ed course, plus the issuing school's info. Phase 4 is parameter selection. Choose your vehicle class, like Class D for a standard passenger car, and type in the 5-digit zip code for your preferred testing area. And lastly, Phase 5, booking confirmation. You'll look over the calendar, pick an available date and time, and grab that digital confirmation receipt. Print it or save it on your phone, seriously, because it tells you the exact street corner or park location for your exam.
All right, Section 3, overcoming booking roadblocks. So, what happens when you log in and the next available appointment isn't for 3 months? If you're hitting these scheduling frustrations, consider this section your secret weapon. Road test availability varies wildly across New York. Urban test sites, especially in dense spots like NYC, Long Island, and Westchester, get booked out for months. Plus, honestly, those urban sites can be incredibly intense. We're talking narrow one-way streets, heavy traffic, and totally unpredictable pedestrians. Your best strategy here? Be flexible and persistent. Try looking for test sites in nearby suburban or rural counties. Sites in Staten Island or upstate generally have wider roads and much lighter traffic, which can really take the edge off your test anxiety if you're a newer driver. Also, you've got to check the scheduling system early and often, especially first thing in the morning. People cancel their appointments all the time, and those slots open up in real time. A little persistence over a few mornings can literally bump your test date up by weeks.
Let's transition to the physical world with Section 4, Test Day Preparation Guide. Getting the appointment is only half the battle, right? Keeping it when you show up is the whole other half.
Now, here is a crucial and often totally misunderstood requirement about the car you bring. A lot of people just assume they can rent a standard car for the day. Nope. Standard rental cars are usually prohibited by the DMV. Why? Because they lack the mandatory dual brake system that allows the examiner to safely intervene if, you make a dangerous mistake. Because of this, using a certified driving school vehicle is heavily preferred and often required. If you do attempt to use a rental, you have to have the rental agreement and express written permission authorizing its use for a road test. But without dual brakes, it's a massive risk that usually just ends up with your test getting canceled. Honestly, don't risk it. Borrow a fully insured car from a family member or just book a driving school vehicle.
Okay, I need to emphasize this again because it is absolutely crucial. You must bring the physical, original certificates to the test site. Copies are a hard no. If you hand them a photocopy of your 5-hour course certificate, the examiner will turn you away on the spot. You also must be accompanied by a licensed driver who is 21 or older, and they have to have their physical, valid license on them. The vehicle itself needs a valid New York registration, an active insurance card with the state of New York printed on it, and a current inspection sticker. Oh, and of course, get there at least 15 minutes early. If you're late, your test gets canceled immediately.
30. That's the magic number. It represents the maximum points you can lose on the New York road test before you automatically fail. And the examiner starts evaluating you the literal second you pull out. Points get deducted for common mistakes, like failing to check your blind spots, rolling through a stop sign, forgetting to signal when changing lanes, or maybe struggling a bit too much with your parallel park. Interestingly, driving way too fast or even driving too cautiously and slow can both cost you points. It sounds super strict, but if you just focus on safe, defensive driving, you're going to be fine.
Now, what if things don't go as planned? It's totally normal to have test anxiety. Being watched by an examiner with a clipboard is, well, nerve-wracking. But you need to know the stakes so you can prepare properly. If you fail the road test 3 times, New York State mandates a strict 6-month waiting period before you can try again. And not only that, you'll actually have to completely retake the 5-hour pre-licensing course. So, take those practice hours seriously, okay? Don't rush into scheduling your test until you really, truly feel confident behind the wheel.
When the test is finally over, the examiner usually won't even tell you pass or fail right there in the car. Instead, you'll head over to roadtestresults.nyrtscheduler.com after 6 p.m. on the day of your test. You just punch in your 9-digit DMV ID number and your birth date to log in, see your score receipt, and finally find out if you passed.
Bringing us to Section 5, Official DMV Guidelines Disclaimer. Let's wrap things up with a quick, important reminder about state regulations.
The New York State DMV is a massive, constantly updating organization. The information, the step-by-step processes, and the specific forms we've covered in this explainer come straight from official sources and are totally accurate right now. However, since the MV policies, fees, and their digital systems do frequently evolve, always anchor your final plans by double-checking the latest rules directly on the official NYSDMV website.
So you now know exactly what prerequisites to gather, how to navigate the online scheduling portal, how to outsmart those incredibly long wait times, and exactly what you need to bring to survive test day without an automatic cancellation. The digital roadmap is officially yours, but the real test is out there on the asphalt. Are you ready to claim your license? Or do you maybe need just a few more hours of parallel parking practice? Get those hours in, go book that appointment, and we'll see you on the road.